Good afternoon, everyone. Following the discussion on gastrointestinal infections, it is essential to explore another significant public health concern, which is vector-borne diseases. While gastrointestinal infections are primarily transmitted through contaminated food and water, vector-borne diseases, which are infections transmitted through bites of infected arthropods, are spread by organisms such as mosquitoes, rodents, ticks, and fleas, which are common vectors carriers of a particular disease. These diseases pose serious health threats, which could either make a person ill, so that's the level of morbidity, or worse, lead to death when left untreated. So this could affect in tropical and subtropical areas like the Philippines, where warm and humid climates create ideal conditions to create ideal conditions for disease-carrying vectors to thrive. Those vectors which were mentioned earlier, such as mosquitoes, rodents, fleas, and ticks. So remember, kung warm gani and humid ang climate in that particular region, those vectors would really thrive. Pirmi na sila nagadamo, naga-replicate, naga-reproduce. That's why here in the Philippines, where we are considered as a tropical country, we experience mostly those types of vector-borne diseases. So, some of the most prevalent vector-borne diseases in the Philippines include dengue, malaria, chikungunya, Japanese encephalitis, and even leptospirosis. Each of these diseases is caused by specific pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, and parasites, which are carried by vectors such as mosquitoes and rodents. So let's look through the following vector-borne diseases, starting with dengue. So dengue is a viral infection transmitted by Aedes mosquitoes. So aside from Aedes aegypti, please take note of it, Aedes aegypti, and another type of Aedes mosquito is Aedes albopictus. These two types of Aedes mosquitoes are actually vectors of this dengue fever. So please take note of which, again, Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus. So symptoms of dengue include high fever, severe headaches, joint and muscle pain, skin rashes for some people, and in severe cases, internal bleeding and organ failure. So that's why hindi lang pag-asiasihon ang dengue, damo nagakapatay sang dengue. So that's why it is very essential to take note of its symptoms and ibulngon gid para hindi too late na. So dengue has a significant impact on public health, often leading to outbreaks that strain healthcare systems and even healthcare facilities. Preventive measures would include eliminating mosquito breeding grounds. Anong mga usually mga mosquito breeding grounds? Ang aton nga mga stagnant water, sa balay in particular, kung may ara ka dira mga bucket, tapos ang bucket ang stagnant clean water, tapos wala mo ginatabunan, wala mo ginacoveran, most probably, and exactly, it will serve as a breeding ground for those mosquito. Another is ang mga water bottles na bala nga wala nyo naubos ang tubig, you leave it open. So those also would serve as breeding grounds ang aton nga mosquito. Even ang mga coconut nga wala na nakataklob or nakalubong. So naka-open lang na siya tapos may tubig dira. that could also serve as a breeding ground for those mosquito. So what shall you do then? So of course, ipanghula tanan nga mga may stagnant water. Kung hindi, kung galamiton pa, like sa mga bucket nyo, sa mga balde nyo, make sure to cover it such that the mosquitoes could not enter and could not make the water in there serve as their breeding ground. Next, using insect repellents. O, mga repellents natin, ang iban may mga off lotion na nga ginagamit. So, anything that repels those mosquitoes towards biting you, can use that. And implementing vector control programs. Next, if ever you are infected na abi, so damo cases no nga may ara na sang mga dengue abi, if ever you are experiencing this, treatment is primarily supportive, focusing on hydration. Dapat inom damo sang tubig, and of course manage your fever. Dapat tawag na dapat kay balaan nyo daan ang dengue niya naga on and off man ang iya nga ano mo ang kainiton mo. So as much as possible kung grabing init mo, try to put something like your bimpo, you dip it on a cold water and you put it on your neck or other parts of your body para mag-lower down ang imo nga temperature, because exceeding the normal body temperature could disrupt body functions. So dapat halungan ang self. Next, we have malaria caused by Plasmodium parasites and transmitted by Anopheles mosquitoes. Okay? So, ang aton Anopheles mosquito is the vector, meaning siya ang carrier sang disease from Plasmodium naton nga mga parasites. So, Plasmodium vivax usually amo na ang causative agent sang aton nga malaria, and it is carried by the Anopheles mosquito. Same man sang kanggina ang dengue, ang aton nga Aedes aegypti, Aedes albopictus, those are carriers of the dengue virus. Once it bites you, that virus carried by those Aedes mosquitoes will infect your body. So, what are symptoms of malaria? It includes recurrent fever, galiwat-liwat nga hilanat, on and off nga hilanat, chills, sweating, kapalamalhas ka, headaches, ano pa gid, severe complications such as organ failure if left untreated. So, malaria prevention includes the use of insecticide-treated mosquito nets and indoor residual spraying to prevent mosquito bites. So, kamo man, aside from mga repellents na abi, mga mosquito nets, you could also make sure para do hindi man makabite dayon sa imo ang tawag na ang mga mosquitoes, wear long sleeves, wear pajamas at night. Tapos kung ano mahabol ka, at least do may barrier pa ba antes nga makakagat sa imo ang aton nga mga mosquitoes. All right. Next, access to anti-malarial medications could also be very essential for effective treatment and management of malaria. So, go to your nearest doctor. If diagnosed that you have malaria, the doctor would suggest to you what particular anti-malaria medicine are you going to take, which is effective in combating and fighting against that parasite, Plasmodium vivax, or other parasites under the species Plasmodium. Next, early detection and prompt treatment in anti-malaria drugs are crucial in managing the disease. So please make sure to um, detect as soon as possible what your disease is so that again, as mentioned earlier, maka-provide appropriate, suitable medicine to combat or fight against that certain microorganism or pathogen that has infected in your body. All right, we're done with dengue, which is um, caused by dengue virus carried by the vector Aedes mosquitoes. We're also done with malaria, which is caused by Plasmodium parasites, which were transmitted or carried by Anopheles mosquitoes. Another vector-borne disease is chikungunya, still another viral disease spread by Aedes mosquitoes. Presents with symptoms similar to dengue, kung pareho man, high fever, chills, and so on and so forth. Ano pagid na, severe joint pain. However, this chikungunya usually extends for months. Grabe kalawig. Imagine, naga-on and off ang imong hilanat, and it's not only a week or two, but it also extends for months. So kabudlay, if you are this kind of this person who has acquired this particular vector-borne disease, kay because balaan nyo naman kung lain ang matsyag nyo, usually wala ka mo gana magkaon. So this kind of disease would really affect your mass, ang kabug-aton mo. Kay syempre wala ka gana magkaon mo, no? And it also affects your daily activities because you don't want to do something due to your illness. So that is chikungunya. Although it is rarely fatal or could lead to death, it significantly affects the quality of life of those infected, as mentioned earlier, kadamo sang iyang nga effects. And prevention methods include mosquito control and personal protection against bites. So same gihapon, of course, you can use mosquito repellent. You can wear long sleeve shirts and long pants and other mga preventive measures, protective measures such as using mga mosquito nets. And currently, there is no specific antiviral treatment for chikungunya yet. So management focuses on symptom relief. So kung may symptom ka na, like may pain ka na nga nabatyagan, joint pain, so you manage it. You can take mga painkillers, and of course, hydration. Dapat you continuously hydrate yourself. Alright, now let's proceed to the fourth one, which is the Japanese encephalitis, a mosquito-borne viral infection that affects your central nervous system, your brain in particular. Okay? So, many infections are mild and asymptomatic. Severe cases can result to high fever, what else? Seizures, paralysis, and even death. So, grabe gali ang iya nga mga symptoms, no? Sang ato ni nga Japanese encephalitis. So, the impact of Japanese encephalitis is profound, particularly in agricultural areas where rice paddies provide breeding grounds for this specific vector. Take note of the vector of Japanese encephalitis. It's Culex mosquito vectors. Let me spell it out to you. Culex mosquito vectors or Culex mosquito vectors. So prevention strategies include vaccination. Of course, it serves as a crucial preventive measure against Japanese encephalitis other than vaccination, mosquito control. So remember, implementing mosquito control measures is essential in reducing the transition risk. Next is, of course, public awareness. Educating communities about prevention techniques is vital to combat the virus. As of this moment, I am already telling you that ways for you to take care of yourself and to combat to avoid acquiring those vector-borne diseases, such as, again, wearing of mosquito repellents, wearing long sleeve shirts and pants, using mosquito nets, and so on and so forth. And this is very good because even in schools, you are taught of some of the prevention techniques, of course, for you to be aware and to combat that virus. And of course, supportive care in hospitals is also essential for severe cases. Um, this is important to manage your symptoms effectively. So, again, this Japanese encephalitis, another mosquito-borne viral infection, is the one that targets your central nervous system. This is very essential to manage because since it targets your central nervous system, um, if your central nervous system will be affected, will be compromised, all other essential body functions will also be affected. Remember, our central nervous system, which ara dira ang aton the brain, is the control center of the body, and if it is being targeted by certain viral infection, it would really cascade to other parts of the body, which is harmful for us. All right. Next, lastly, we have here leptospirosis. Very common. I know you are very aware of this because kung may ara gali sa mga baha-baha, nan amo ginadayon ang gasulod sa aton nga ulo, no? So remember, leptospirosis, while not transmitted by insect vectors, it is often included in discussions on vector-borne diseases due to its association with rodents. Common examples of rodents are our ato na nga mga ilaga or rats. So these are primarily found in contaminated water, and ang aton nga vector diri are the rodents, and the causative agent that causes leptospirosis is this Leptospira bacteria. Please take note of this. So this disease is caused by, again, Leptospira bacteria, which are present in contaminated water, especially during floods or baha. That's the reason why if may mga pilas-pilas kamo sa tiil or sa legs nga na, you are really not encouraged to, you're not encouraged to ikaw sa baha, okay? Because yes, because that could affect that specific Leptospira bacteria could enter into the open wound that you have, and that point of entry could already lead to infection. So, what are the symptoms of this leptospirosis? One is fever, another is muscle pain. We have jaundice. Ang jaundice na bala nga daw naga-yellowish ang imo nga color sang body, just like ang sa may mga hepatitis na bala. Next, kidney damage, and in severe cases, organ failure. So, preventive measures involve proper sanitation, rodent control. So muna may ara man kita siguro bisan sa balay nato, no, to make sure that there are no rodents, mga rats dara. Make sure that it is always clean ang ato na nga ano na mga damog, make sure to throw it in it on the specified trash bin. Ang mga basurahan naton himuson gid. Ano pa gid? If there are really a lot of rats in your household or outside, you could use those mga ginagamit na bala pang dakop sang aton nga mga rodents such that they will not be present in our water bodies or sa aton na nga surrounding, especially during ang baha. So how is this leptospirosis treated? So may ara kita mga antibiotics to treat that leptospirosis, and especially to treat those infected individuals. So this antibiotics is very essential in aiding in the recovery of that infected individual. So that is it for our leptospirosis. Now, let's proceed to the modes of transmission. So, how are these particular vector-borne diseases being transmitted? So, the first one is mosquitoes as our primary vectors. So, mosquitoes are the most common vectors effectively transmitting diseases through their bites. So, direct contact. So, direct contact gini siya when when the mosquito bites you directly on your skin, it injects the causative agent, maybe Aedes, what do you call that? Maybe mga dengue causing virus and another viruses that is being transmitted, carried by these mosquitoes. So again, one way is through direct transmission from a mosquito to the host. Another is they could also transmit those diseases by what do you call that? Spreading illnesses through sa mga ihi nila, like sa aton na nga rodents. Ang leptospirosis is caused, of course, through the contaminated water sa ihi sang aton nga mga rats. So, that could also be another mode of transmission. And of course, ano pagid ang aton man nga mga ticks and fleas. So, mga parasitic naton, no? Kung ara man sa aton nga ulo, to direct contact man gihapon, kung sa mga ido na, ara sa ila, serves as parasite. These ticks and flea might have carried certain virus or bacteria causing a particular disease, and once it bites to the host, then the host could acquire that particular virus or pathogen nga gina-carry sang aton nga ticks and fleas. So again, those are how our vector-borne diseases usually transmitted, mostly through direct contact or may ara kita sang indirect contact. Amo na ang sa rodents naton nga halin sang ihi iya nga nagcontaminate sang tubig, tapos ang imo nga mga pilas-pilas nga may mga pilas-pilas nga tiil ara dira ginbutang muda sa may contaminated water. So the direct and indirect modes of transmissions. Now, what are the challenges in combating these vector-borne diseases, specifically here in the Philippines? So, one is urbanization. Remember, rapid urban growth increases breeding sites for disease vectors, which leads to worsening the public health issues. Why urbanization presents significant challenges to public health, particularly in disease prevention and control, is due to overcrowding. Remember, kung damo tao, damo may nagagamit sang mga galamiton, damo gamit sang tubig, Tapos gapilin-bilin lang ko sa kung diin. Stagnant water again serves as the breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Next, inadequate sanitation. Pabayaan lang kahigo sang lugar, wala man lang ginapanghula ang mga stagnant water from the water bottles, pollution, and strained healthcare systems. So remember, as cities expand rapidly, often without proper infrastructure planning, the risk of both infections and non-communicable diseases would as well increase. Next is climate change. So, um, changing climate conditions facilitate vector proliferations, heightening the risk of outbreaks. As mentioned earlier, mosquitoes thrive in warm and humid environments. So, at these particular temperatures, mosquitoes will develop faster, reproduce more efficiently, and are more active in seeking the host. So that's why climate change is also one of the reasons why it is very challenging for us to combat vector-borne diseases. Another is inadequate waste management. Remember, poor waste disposal creates ideal habitats for mosquitoes, contributing for um, disease spread. Next is healthcare access. Many rural areas lack adequate healthcare services, believe it or not. Especially ang sa mga rural areas nga ara didto gid dapit sa mga bukid-bukid na nabala. Um, Limiting prevention and treatment options, these lack of these things increases the burden of these diseases. And lastly are our natural disasters. Frequent typhoons and flood disrupt the health services, leading to increased disease outbreaks. So how does this happen? Remember, typhoon and floods create ideal conditions for disease outbreaks, overwhelming health infrastructures. These natural disasters create conditions for this disease outbreak because they lead to widespread flooding. Aside from that, stagnant water accumulation. Nag-accumulate ang stagnant water, and remember again, stagnant water are the most common breeding grounds of our vector-borne diseases, vectors such as mosquitoes. And displacement of communities, all of which would contribute to the rapid spread of conditions. So, significant public health concern gid yang ato ni nga vector-borne diseases. So that's why each of us in the community must really work hand in hand to fight against acquiring these vector-borne diseases. And we can do this by making sure that we have a highly sanitized environment. We also make sure to cover stagnant water such that it won't be a breeding ground of our vectors carrying those diseases. There is also an urgent need for effective prevention strategies. Immediate action is required to develop and implement prevention strategies to combat these diseases. So, especially kung may mga dengue na cases, damo na dengue cases sa amo nga lugar, no, dapat urgent gid ang pag ubra naton. So kay wala na tanan mahimo, ara na. So controlling strategies ara pwede sa aton. So amo na general clean up, making sure tanan nga mga possible breeding grounds ang aton nga mga mosquitoes, ipang-empty na naton siya kay para wala na sang breeding ground ang aton nga mosquito, and therefore the chances of acquiring dengue would be minimized or mitigated. So, amo nang hambal kang gina, enhancing vector control. Next, promoting public awareness, which is very essential. Amo na damo sa mga posters nga about dengue control. What should you do to prevent dengue? mga ways for you to help in limiting, or yes, limiting dengue cases in our community, ara mana. And even in the internet, very widely available, what are the causes, symptoms, and preventive measures of this vector-borne diseases that I have mentioned earlier. And of course, ensuring healthcare access. This is very essential, such that those people who are already infected with this kind of disease could be closely monitored, and so they could heal immediately or as soon as possible because they are treated with proper medications. And remember, community involvement is vital. So, hindi lang dapat isa ka tao ang nagaobra sini, kundi all the members of the community. Because if in a community, only few households are practicing these preventive measures, but many are still pawala lang, sige lang gihapon, pabayan ang mga stagnant water, nga serving as the breeding grounds for our vectors such as mosquitoes. Of course, magdamo gihapon, naga-proliferate, naga-reproduce gihapon ang aton nga mga vectors. So again, do sa wala lang gihapon ang aton nga ginubra. So dapat naga-involve gid ya ang aton nga community. That's why, if you can recall, in our first lesson, we've discussed how important community health is. How important the community involvement is to ensure the optimum health of every member of the community. And of course, integrated health strategies would improve outcomes. So adopting an integrated approach to health can lead to better public health outcomes. So we can help one another from various health centers. If may ara sila sang proven and tested nga very good strategies, this can be integrated and used as well, or utilized as well, by the other health units. So, in conclusion, vector-borne diseases remain a major public health concern in the Philippines. Their impact on individuals and communities highlights the importance of prevention through vector control, public awareness, and healthcare access. And by implementing integrated strategies and strengthening community involvement, the country can mitigate the risk associated with these diseases and improve public health outcomes. So join us in understanding the significant impact of vector-borne diseases in the Philippines. So hopefully, as a student, you have learned how important your contribution is as an inhabitant of the community in fighting against these vector-borne diseases. Since you are aware of it already, please apply what you have learned, and to make you, not just your family, not just the but the entire community as a whole, healthy and away from illnesses caused by these vectors, such as but not limited to mosquitoes, rodents, and even fleas and ticks. So that is all for this after morning. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have learned about this third category, third lesson under diseases in our community. We still have another lesson under this unit, so please keep updated. Thank you so much and have a nice day.